that saved my life? What if I do this and I can never see them again? What if I leave my abuser and they take my children away?
I mean, there were times where you would open my Bible to take my tithes out, to say you needed that money from it. There were times when I would come home and you weren't there for days.
I was scared to find out what could happen if I didn't stay doing what I knew.
That was hard. I think I was trying to figure out who I was, and I honestly felt like I numbed myself a lot. So, a lot of those memories that you might have, I don't have a lot of the memories of. I went to church, obviously, but I don't have a lot of memories of missing family or any of those things because I was just laser focused on what was in front of me at the time. That I just figured I just need to get through this day. Every day I was just like, I just need to get through this day. I need to get through this day. I need to get through this day. I would say that was first is I numbed myself a lot mentally. I just put up mental blocks. But then I would say I also use my imagination a lot. So I would just, do you remember when I was younger? I used to create little families. I didn't have Barbie dolls or anything like that. And so I would take your lotion bottles, the shampoo bottles in the house. I would take ketchup bottles.
But it's funny because those exact same things I used to play with
mm,
as a child, talking to them. So we got a lot of similarities.
hmm Yeah, that's what it was like then. I think my hardest moment though was when I went away to Spelman, when I was the day I left the house for Spelman and my graduation day. I thought y'all were tricking me. I really thought you or my dad or somebody would be in that audience when I graduated Spelman College. I was like, they had 4 years to prepare. Like, so I just remember that more than I remember the childhood stuff more than anything.
Mhm.
So that was hard.
Yeah, it was a lot of mixed emotions for me too. Imagine me not being the 100% parent that I should have been. And when you're getting ready to graduate college, I'm having another baby. So that was a lot of mixed emotions, felt like another letdown that I waited until your time to want to deliver. So it felt strained again. But something you said that caught me, I do that now. I numb myself
Mm.
and I put up mental blocks now that I don't rely to the drugs to block me out. A lot of times the things when they start hurting me, I just tend to block them out. And I keep them that way until the next time somebody brings something up. So it's strange to hear a lot of the same things that we were doing just for coping mechanisms.
Well, that brings me to therapy and the journey of healing post that. Like, I know that you have gone through your own journey with church, with rehab, with a lot of the ways that you have changed your life now in your recovery. For me, it was therapy. I've been in therapy probably every week for the last 15 years. And I think maybe in the last 3 years, not even, maybe in the last year, I started going every 2 weeks. But I've been in therapy pretty consistently for the last 15 years. And I remember you used to say to me, "Why are you still going to therapy? How long is therapy going to last? When are you through with that? Are y'all talking about me?" And I would just be like, "I think I'm probably going to be in therapy for the rest of my life."
I mean,
18 times 2. I was like, I need to get through those first 18 years in therapy first, and then I need to plan my next 18 years of my life. And I'm 36. Oh my gosh, I'm 36. 6 years old.
oh my.
Yeah, but we haven't even got in therapy. We're not even up to 36 yet, so I still have a have a long way in therapy.
Do you have any fond memories of growing up at home?
Ooh, that's a good question. What are my fond memories? So I did used to numb myself a lot, and so I don't have a lot of memories. But I remember you used to take us to the park,
Mm.
and we all used to go as a family. Y'all would pack stuff up, take to the park. We would get in the sprinklers, the water hose, um, and that was nice. There was a point though, I did not know that. I don't know when I knew that you were an addict, but you used to get your nails done, your hair done. You used to have this like short pixie cut. Your nails used to stay rhinestoned out, and all the things. But I don't know, was that in your addiction? I have a memory of that being like, "Oh my gosh, my mom looks so beautiful."
Yeah, that was before the addiction really
Mm,
started fighting back.
yeah. Those are some of my favorite memories of it. I just remember you in royal blue just looking beautiful. With your hair done, you used to go get it done, or I don't know if Sylvia used to do it.
So,
Okay.
which is your aunt.
Yes, my aunt used to do your hair and your nails just looking fly, and then the parks. And then now I think something that's beautiful. So after the Spelman graduation, where you weren't able to make it to, you came to my master's when I graduated with my master's degree. And I wasn't even planning to walk across stage for my master's degree. Most people didn't that were my friends, but because I knew you were coming and I knew that would be important for you and for me to get to have that moment together, I decided to walk across the stage to get my master's degree so that you and I could have that moment together.
Hmm. I'm recalling that moment, and it brings back memories because I do remember coming there for your master's, and I remember just trying, just barely on the straight and narrow, and feeling like, what if I could have did so much more? Looking at the other girls walk around, and looking at the other parents, and I used to always have a feeling of regret.
Mm,
That's something that hunted me and still hunts me. But when I think about where you all came, how God showed up and showed out, I don't know if you remember me telling you, the best part of my life was having my children. That was the only thing that I've ever had I can brag on. The only thing I ever had that was all my, well, wasn't totally all mine because your dad, but something that no one could take away from me. No one could say I didn't look right for it. No one could say I didn't talk right. And when they did, what I do, bring her here. She not going. They not going. Don't talk. Don't talk. So I think in spite of me having my children young, that saved my life
mm,
because a lot of I didn't do things because I was always trying to think of a bigger picture. What if I do this and I can never see them again? What if I leave my abuser and they take my children away? What if they kept me stuck? I was scared to find out what could happen if I didn't stay doing what I knew. So I was just so proud of you all. And I recall all the times you telling me, Mom, you living your life through me. Mom, stop, stop.
mm,
All I ever wanted was you all to get good grades and get awards. And the more you all did made me feel like I was somebody, especially when y'all wasn't old enough to tell me that I wasn't.
mm,
When I could just walk around and be like, man, I got some smart kids. People would tell me how well mannered, from the school. I would just feel like, man, I did something right. And you just flourished and took the cake. You went off to doing college classes in the fifth grade. And if I didn't know no better, I would have been saying, this me, that's me.
mm,
I probably did tell people it was me for a while, trying to make myself feel like I was someone. So I probably did. Sorry, I was probably taking your life then. I think I was saying, "Oh, I was doing this when I was in fifth."
Mm.
And it was so believable because you were actually doing it. And I was so proud of you. And I didn't have nothing to be proud of me about other than you all. So I would take y'all's stuff and use it. I think I was using it so people wouldn't see what they really thought they saw in me.
Mm.
You know, everybody thought I was slick, conniving, black, which I was. But God saw me
Yeah.
for something.
Yes. I remember being younger and feeling like you were living through us and trying to get your life back. And what it felt like for me is I remember saying, um, what did I say? That this wasn't or you would brag on me and I would be like, why do you get to take part in that? Because I felt like when I would come home, there were times where you would open my Bible to take my tithes out to say you needed that money from it. Or there were times when I would come home and you weren't there for days. And I would still go to school. I would still try to figure it. I would wash my siblings' clothes or make sure they had underclothes or whatever it was. And so sometimes I just felt like you got credit for something that you made it harder for me when you didn't even mean to make it harder, but you got the credit for it. And then I realized that that wasn't really the conversation I needed to be having. That and it wasn't until I got old enough to realize you were trying to survive, and so were we. And it was a set of unfortunate circumstances, it was a deck, poverty, addiction, abuse. It was a deck that was just a really hard deck that we got dealt. And we
Wow.
were trying to play a hand that where the deck was already rigged.